Leos, it is time to let go of the past. Everything that you've been through, from your childhood to your high school to your college to even your young adult years, no matter what age you are as a Leo rising, you have to remember that your thoughts about the past aren't currently happening. You may have experienced something very traumatic, especially when it comes to home and family as a Leo rising, especially because you have Pluto in the fourth house. You know that Scorpio is in your fourth house, and you know that you've had a transformative time when it comes to home and family and your inner world. And, over the years, you have suffered silently through all of the changes that have happened in your home and family. A lot of Leos haven't said a peep about anything about how they feel about their home and their family, especially to the people that they live with. And they've just been silently carrying the burden of the world on their shoulders. Leos really are some of the most silent sufferers. you know Leos will never tell you when they're going through it. A lot of Leos will smile in your face and tell you I'm fine, then let you know that they would rather do that than let you know that they're going through something. A lot of Leos isolate themselves because they need time to regenerate and figure things out. But a lot of times what happens is Leos, you will isolate yourself, and in isolation you ruminate on everything that traumatized you. And I'm here to tell you that you have to let those patterns go if you're ever going to grow as a person. See, Leos go through grief based on the experiences that they had as a kid or a teen, and then they sometimes harbor resentment when they get older because these things never get expressed. But once you have grief and resentment, the next stage is acceptance. And a lot of Leos have not accepted what has happened to them. A lot of Leos have replayed the negativity and the trauma and the just unfortunate events that have happened to them over and over again. And this has led to extreme self-suffering because they feel like they have nobody who they can talk to about it. And, Leos, if you're going to make it through the rest of your life, you have to learn how to get that chip off your shoulder. I'm here to tell you, as a Leo rising myself, in order to move forward, you must not only accept what has happened to you, but you also must move forward and use what happened to you to motivate you to not ever be in a circumstance like that again. You can't change what happened in your past, Leo. You can only change how you perceive your reality. And if you're always perceiving your reality to be a repeat of these cycles that have happened to you as a child and a teenager, you will never truly grow and appreciate how these events have actually made you a better person. What a lot of Leos don't realize is it is because of these tumultuous, traumatic events that they are some of the best people that you'll ever meet, some of the best friends that you'll ever meet, right? And we know that Leos are the star of the show. We know that Leos are the light in the room. We know that Leos are the funny storytellers. But behind all that funny storytelling and behind all that trauma and all that turmoil, it's just a lot. It's a lot. Behind all the storytelling, behind everything is just like, this deep wound that only you can heal. My words are all over the place right now because this is an emotional topic for me too, as a Leo rising myself. One thing that's helped me honestly get through these transits is going outside, journaling, working on content, listening to music. As a Leo, if you don't have a creative outlet, you can be very, very tough on yourself. You know, you kind of um, need an outlet in order to really, how do I say, you need an outlet in order to really get yourself out there, you know? As a Leo, a lot of times what will happen is, you know, you go through these events, you isolate yourself, and then you don't have any outlets to express yourself, so you start taking it out on your partners, you start taking it out on your friends, you start taking it out on your family, and it's like nobody is thinking about what they did to you, Leo. They're thinking about what they got going on in their life, and you have to understand that everybody is very self-centered. Nobody cares, unfortunately, what is going on in your head. So no matter how much you pout and no matter how much you isolate, nobody cares. It's unfortunate, but you know, people make mistakes, and a lot of people do things that are really fucked up, but it's not good for you to harbor on those things, because that just leads to an internal suffering that, you know, doesn't even need to happen, really. I would say, honestly, Leo, you have Jupiter in your first house if you're a Leo rising. So this is a time for you to expand your identity past what it is that you've been through. You know, when Jupiter was in Cancer, a lot of Leos felt like they were just living through old cycles yet again. And, you know, because Jupiter is now in your first house, you're supposed to detach from these previous experiences and just focus on you, you know? Mars in Cancer is a very hard transit because it makes you care about what people have to say, especially when it comes to home and family. And as a Leo rising, Mars in the 12th house is like, you get frustrated by like subconscious thoughts about what people said to you. Shit could have happened like years ago. You just start thinking about it at like 9 o'clock at night after you ate dinner. You think about how somebody said something crazy to you. Anyways, my thing is this. You know, a lot of Leos need space and they need isolation in order to come back out and shine bright. But one thing that a lot of Leos don't need to do is isolate and then suffer in silence. Leo, you need somebody who you can talk to. You need a creative outlet. You need a form of expression that will allow you to escape the trauma and the things that you can't control. Because you can't control what happened to you in your past. All you can do is change your perspective on it and frame it in a matter where, you know, you can only grow and learn from it. Like I said, a lot of Leos went through grief, went through resentment, but haven't gone through acceptance and haven't moved forward from a lot of the things that happened to them when they were children. And this impacts them on a day-to-day basis because a lot of Leos still live with their family. A lot of Leos are still in contact with their family. Now, a lot of Leos don't talk to their family, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're not going to talk to your family, Leo, why are you still thinking about them? So, yeah, it's really a mental battle. Mars in the 12th house is a mental fucking battle. And Leo, it's up to you to figure out whether, you know, it's worth it to be stuck in the past or not, you know? Because you've been stuck in the past for years, Leo. So, like, you've been thinking about the things that your family may or may not have said to you for years, things that they have made, things that your family or your friends may have done to you for years, you know? You don't have to do that. Like, you don't have to think about that. That it's a choice. A lot of y'all have lost sleep over this shit. A lot of y'all have cried tears over this shit. A lot of y'all have like fucking use drugs to cope with this shit. A lot of y'all have like gained weight over this shit, lost weight over this shit. Excuse my French, but a lot of y'all have let the negativity, a lot of Leos have let the negativity from the external world when it comes to society, their friends, and their family impact how they feel about themselves, and suffered in silence and developed just negative, nasty habits, just terrible habits, just so that they can feel safe. And I'm here to tell you that, you know, you can't change the past. You can only change your perspective on the things that happen to you, accept them, and know that you are a better person because you went through those things. And moving forward, you have to know as a Leo, you're always going to be criticized. You're the sun. Everybody sees you. All right? When you get too hot, everybody complains. So with that being said, I hope that y'all can get through this Mars and Cancer transit without being super depressed. I'm certainly going to use this time to just focus on me, myself, and I, my platform, and just continuing to make content that people can feel, you know, like they can relate to. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know this was like kind of, how do I say, all over the place, kind of. I feel like I kind of went on a tangent, but I'm doing this off the top. You know, this is like no editing. This is no script. This is just purely off the top. Y'all see everybody running behind me, everybody on the bike. I think that shit's funny. So you'll see another person biking by. Watch this. Got him. Damn. That ain't going fast as shit. But anyways, appreciate y'all for watching me and tuning into my content. I got a podcast with my boy Tad's Astrology. If y'all haven't been watching the live streams, they're on my YouTube channel where we talk about all types of stuff. It's like astrology for the boys. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to make astrology more palatable for people who don't really care for, you know, the terminology, the degree theory, the Sabian symbols, the planetary alignments, and, you know what I'm saying, the aspects. Like, we're trying to make it more casual and more relatable. So if you want more casual, understandable astrology, simpler terms, and, you know what I'm saying, more relatable astrology, tune into the podcast, man. But yeah, I'm gonna holler at y'all in the next video. Keep scrolling.